Are you ready for Teferi time? Today we're unlocking the new Planeswalker on Spellslingers and we're going to be building a deck as well as playing some games, so check it out. Alright everyone, we've unlocked the new Spellslinger in the Spellslingers game, and that's Teferi. He's a Planeswalker in Magic the Gathering. As you can see, the colors are blue and white, so you can only play cards from blue and white. He has 3 signature spells, one of which is the Teferi's Acolyte. It's a 3 mana 2/5 creature. When it enters the battlefield and debut, the next trap you arm costs 0. So very nice cost reduction, and ties in very well with this trap called Absorb. Absorb normally costs 3, but with Acolyte costs 0, and what it does, it will counter any spell the opponent plays that is 3 mana or more, and you gain 3 life. So very good when countering all the big creature spells that the opponent is casting. And lastly, Teferi's Staff is an artifact, costs 2 mana, so it comes on the battlefield and you can activate 2 times with 2 charges, and for each activation you draw a trap from your deck. So it's basically a free searching your library ability, but you can only search for traps, and it's a random trap. Traps are essentially spells but cast when something else happens, so there should be a trigger. And Teferi's special ability is that for every 3rd trap you play, draw a card. Alright, so let's look at Teferi's deck list. It is more creature focused. It does have some traps, but not as many as I think other control decks. So this is a balance between attack and defense. So we've got some traps. Let's go through the traps first. Beginner's Luck basically gives a creature +3/+3 if it survives. Shields Up gives it armor, so can neglect damage for 1 time. And then we have Disorient, gives opponent's strongest creature -3/-0, which is not bad because it's a permanent reduction in the power. And then we have 2 copies of Call the Wind. This is great to create a 3/2 flyer, and it works best with the Acolyte, which makes your traps cost 0. So you basically cast this for free. And what other traps do we have? Actually, that's it for traps. So as you can see, not that many. So we're not really using Teferi's special ability that much, because you draw a card for every 3rd trap you play. Oh, we do have Absorb, sorry. Absorb is also a trap. It's basically a counter spell. Anything they cast for 3 mana will be countered. So, and we heal ourselves for 3. So, yeah, a very special card for Teferi only. And let's go to the creatures. So we have 2 copies of the Crab as a blocker. Can't attack, so too bad, but we can use it to sacrifice against smaller creatures. 2 copies of Devoted Steel. At the very least, it's a 3/3 for 2 mana. Snapshell Turtle. So this ties in with Teferi's game plan of casting traps, because he gets +1/+0 for every trap you play. 2 copies of Chapel Guys, quite simple, 3 mana 2/3 flyer. Teferi's Acolyte, so this is key for traps, because when it comes in, your next trap costs 0. So for cards like Absorb and Call of the Wind, which cost 3, now would cost 0. So very good value if you can combine the 2 together. Martial Aeolus, also a very vanilla 2/4 flyer for 3 mana, but it has ward, so it can't be targeted for 1 turn. Ceremonial Guard is a 4 mana 5/6. I didn't have anything else to put in, so you could change this up, because we don't really need this. It's just a nice blocker on the ground. 2 copies of Frostlings, nice because it can stun an enemy creature for 1 turn, means they can't attack or block for that 1 turn. So sometimes you just need to stun the opponent to get through on the damage. 1 copy of Mage of Insight. The stats are okay, 4 mana for 3/4, but you get to draw a card, so drawing cards is usually good in games, especially Spellslingers, because you can start to do more stuff. Shell Game, so I put 2 copies of this in because it is quite effective. It turns any big creature into a 0/6. Unfortunately, it can still block you, but luckily for this deck, we're using flyers, so normally we just fly over the turtle. 1 copy of Mist Raven, 5 mana is quite expensive, but you get a 3/3 flyer, and you can return an enemy creature to hand, so it can buy you some time. And lastly, Mahamoti Jin, 6 mana, 5/6 flying. Also, this can be cut if you have something better, but because I don't have any of the good blue mythics or epic cards, so I have to put this in. Yeah. Alright, so that's it for our deck list. So let's try to get some wins with this. Okay, playing against Johnny is going to be difficult. We have a starting hand of a crab and 2 traps. I think we can try this.
It's time for the pride.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the crab on turn 1, just nice. Costs 1 mana for a 3/3, but it cannot attack. So basically a good defender. Ooh, and then we have the Watch Wolf, 2 mana, 3/4. So that's bigger than our crab, but we can cast Turtle. And just pass.
Excellent.
Wow, the Steed gives it 4/5, so pretty big. Could try to block it with the Shell Crab. I think I'm gonna let it pass for 1 turn and see how it goes. Okay, so turn 3 I can cast Acolyte and probably put up a trap for Call of the Wind. Call of the Wind would be cheaper because the Acolyte gives Call of the Wind 0, so maybe we'll do that. Just end the turn. Ooh, Grudge Match. Killed off my Acolyte. That is pretty good. Alright, I'll block. Alright, this is good. We have shields up, which basically gives it armor, and we can also have beginner's luck. If it survives, gives it +3/+3. So why don't we arm the traps? So Teferi is all about traps. They're basically like combat tricks that we can use. Okay, so you fell for it. The wolf gets shield, so I don't take any damage, and then I get beginner's luck.
Right on time.
I draw a card because Teferi, once you trigger 3 traps, you draw a card. So that's it. I do really need more traps right now. I do have a shell game that can turn an enemy creature into 0/6, which is good. Or I want to give something flying maybe. If only I could give my 8/7 flying. Must be a spell that can do that actually. Alright, I'm gonna attack with both. Okay, the Steed eats it. I feel I should leave up Shell Game for a bigger threat, because I don't really know what kind of big creatures he might cast, so let's just cast our bird. And pass the turn. Aha, Briarhorn. Yeah, so that's the one I'm afraid of. He's gonna give something +3/+3, and that's 7/6. Alright, let's just block because my creature is only at 3 toughness, so it is quite vulnerable. Ah, nice. So we got a Devoted Steel. So let's do that. And I'll put it on my rock. Attack with 6. So just end the turn. Ooh, Danita Capuchin. And a Devoted Steel, giving itself +1/+1. Capuchin gives it +1, +2/+2. Wow. What does Capuchin do? After you target a friendly creature, the creature gets +1/+1. Alright, I will block it with my Steed. Okay, we got another flying creature. I could give Shell Game to Denita Capuchin. I think this is the most dangerous guy. So I'm gonna do that. Turn into a 0/6 turtle. And I will swing in for damage and life, which is good. I'm wondering whether I should pressure them on defense, so maybe I'll cast Acolyte as a blocker for the steed, because the steed is 3/3 and I can block with the Acolyte for 2/5. Spike Bailoff for 5/5 Trample.
Life is for the living.
And an Infuser giving it +0/+2. Wow. Let's do that. Block 6/4. Save me 6 damage. Alright, I'll just take it. I think 3 damage is fine. Heal 3. Wow. Nice. Alright, so let's attack first. Gain some life. And we basically need 7 damage in the air to win.
You go low, I'll go
I'm
high.
not sure if we can do it, but we do have lots of health, so let's pass. If they've got an overrun right now, we're dead. Really hope we can get our first win with Teferi. They've attacked with all. So that's how many damage? 9, 12, 17, 19 damage. Could they deal 5 more? Alright, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna take 19 damage.
Please concede.
Alright, we got it! We got our first win as Teferi. That was so difficult. We've gone through many losses with Teferi, which you have not seen, but it's really difficult to play with Teferi. Right, so that's it from us. Do hit the subscribe button if you want to watch more on Spellslingers gameplay as well as other Magic the Gathering content. We also play on Arena, and we also have Commander games sometimes. Or you can also check out our website at tapandsac.com, where you can find more articles on Magic strategy. So if you don't like to watch videos, you can just read articles online. And we're tapping out now, so take care and see you guys next time.